Hello again, beautiful divine soul. Today I want to talk about what you have to know, what's actually a prerequisite when trying to connect to spirit, when talking to spirit, when connecting to the other side in any which way. Those who are new, thank you so much for coming here. I'm Natasha, Cosmic Empress, and why don't you subscribe and hit the little bell to make sure you get notified when a new video comes out. So, we're spiritual people. We want to get divine guidance. We want to connect to the other side. We want to talk to spirit. Now, the very, very most important thing and the prerequisite, okay? The prerequisite is to define exactly who you are talking to and who you are connecting to. Because spirit and the other side is a very broad term. I know it used to be that 20 years back, even 10 years back, before we had such spiritual knowledge and awakening and such a huge, I would say, flow of information coming in on this subject. Before that time, spirit was like just, this is us and that's spirit. This is us here, humans incarnated in our bodies, and spirit is somewhere on the other side. But since then, we've come a long, long way, and we really have to define what is spirit. Spirit is not just one big conglomerate of energy and voices talking to us that are kind of indefinable. We are in the third dimension here, living a physical life. And our higher self, our soul, our spirit resides in a different dimension. So a higher vibrational level, a higher dimension is what we want to access, is what we think of when we're thinking of spirit. So the spirit world is made up of so many different kinds of energies, people, entities, vibrations, and beings that are not here physically for us to access. So, just to categorize a little bit more, when you're trying to connect to the other side, and you're saying, I want to connect to spirit, and okay, I'll just kind of connect to spirit, and whatever spirit says or shows me or tells me is wow, is to be taken as true and real. It's kind of like you opening the front door of your house and saying, everyone out there, come in, I want to talk to you, come into my house and talk to me. And who's going to come in? It could be a good person, it could be a bad person, it could be someone who wants to steal from you, it could be someone who wants to talk to you in a positive way. So you never know who you're going to invite in if you open your front door, right? Good or bad could come in. So the same thing is with spirit. If you just open yourself to spirit in general, you don't know who is going to connect to you. You don't know if it's lower vibrational beings, higher vibrational beings, angels, guides, God, you don't know. So what you have to do, the one thing you have to do, the prerequisite, is be specific who you want to connect to. Now, the safest way to connect is, if you're really, really new to this, is to obviously very high vibrational beings, and those are angels and archangels. Okay? And when you're doing this, set the intention in whichever practice you're doing this. If you're praying, if you're meditating, if you're doing hypnosis, if you are just talking in general, asking for connection, for help, for assistance, set the intention, first of all, to connect to a high vibrational being that is there for your highest good, right? That's the first thing you have to do, to make sure you're not connecting to anything negative, detrimental, or neutral. The second thing that I would recommend is connect specifically to an angel or archangel, because like I said, with those two prerequisites, you can't really go wrong. Nothing can happen that is out of sorts or that is not appropriate. So setting the intention to connect to a high vibrational energy and to an angel or archangel, that's where you can start off with. And that's what I did. For many years, I specifically, when I was on my spiritual journey, when I was asking and seeking, the only people or beings I wanted to connect to were actually archangels, because I knew and I recognized, and it resonated as truth to me, that archangels are the highest, or some of the highest vibrational beings that are very positive, that are benign, that want to help me, and that are there for my highest good. So for years and years and years, until a few years ago, all I did was connect to archangels, and specifically Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, because I'd done a little bit of research and I was sure within myself that that would be a very good point of connection. So connecting to, in your prayers or in your meditations, to angels and archangels of the highest vibration, of the light for your highest good, is something I would start with if you haven't done any of this type of work. And then you can start to perhaps communicate with your own spirit guides, or with the Holy Spirit, or with teachers and masters, or with God directly. So I would, in the beginning, be very, very clear and intentional on who you're connecting to. I mean, think about it. A lot of people leave comments in my videos or send me emails that they're feeling very bad. They feel that they have negative influences in their lives, that they are not really sure how to go about all this because they're afraid that some negative entities or demons or beings that are not positive may influence them. And this is true if you are not intentional. That's why I am totally against practices like the Ouija board. Like, who would just go in and randomly call forth any which beings who they don't even know who they are or what intention they have? And a Ouija board mostly will call in negative entities. So that is such a dangerous thing. It's kind of like opening your door and saying, anyone come in, including the vampire, okay? So you know what I mean? So you have to be super intentional and really understand what you're connecting to, who you're calling in. And no, demons are not good. On my other channel, Empress of Wands, I once had like a thread of conversation going. Someone said, oh, but demons are lovely. They're not. They're not, believe me. And there are lower vibrational energies, entities that are in the lower astral planes or even in lower dimensions that have the ability to connect to you if you allow it, if you are random, and if you are also in a very low vibrational space. So I'm going to make a whole other video how to protect yourself from lower energies, and it does have to do with your intention and your vibration. So if you set the intention every day, all the time, to really be supported by your spiritual team of light and high vibrational energies and people and beings, then that's what's going to happen. And that's basically your safety mechanism from not being misled, or from not having, someone out there who may be not evil but random just talk to you and give you information that's not even relevant. So know who you're connecting to. Angels, archangels of the highest kind, your own personal team of spirit guides that have only your best and highest interest in mind, teachers and masters that only have your highest interest in mind, of the light. And if you are tuning into further beings, just make sure you always have the intention of the highest and best. I think I've said this 10 times. Of the light, of the highest vibration and with the highest and best interest for you in mind. And then you'll be safe. Now, I will be doing a lot of videos on exactly how to connect, how to receive guidance. I will do a series of guided meditation videos to help you do that. And just as another piece of the puzzle, if you are doing practices like going deeply into a meditative state to access your own soul, your own past lives, if you want to be sure that, nothing scary or creepy or something you're not ready for comes up, always set the intention to go into your practice, whatever it is, to connect to anything, any pictures, any images, even your own past lives that will benefit you at this moment in time, that are positive and that you are ready to deal with. Okay, so that's so important. So, to sum up, connecting to spirit. What is spirit? Define who it is you want to connect to. Make sure that it's of the highest vibration. And as an extra little safety mechanism, what I do when I do any kind of practice, even if you are, I don't know, if you are doing some sort of spell or something which you may feel you're not quite sure if it's safe or not, what you can do is you can call forth a grid of light of 4 archangels around you. Okay, so if you have 4 archangels around you creating a grid of light, then you're not going to be able to do anything that calls in anything negative or that's not appropriate or evil. It's not possible. Can you imagine? I mean, just think about it. If you want to do a practice and you're going to call in the archangels, if you don't even want to call them in for that practice, then don't do it. That's how I work. If I can't call in my archangels and have them build this protective grid of light around me that holds me and protects me, and that doesn't let in anything negative, if I don't want to do that, why do I want to do the practice? Then there's something iffy about it. And then it's not going to work anyways if it's negative. Because if you have a grid of archangels, archangels are of the very highest vibration that you can get. Then nothing really low and nothing that is not good and appropriate is going to come through. So do that. So if you're kind of scared and you've been, thinking, oh, I'm not sure, just go into your meditation and call Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, for example, and just ask for them to come and be present and create a grid of light around you, of protective light that holds a sacred and safe space of light for you to do your practice, whatever it is. Then you'll be safe. What can happen with the archangels, right? That's your safety mechanism. And then you continue, and then you can be very specific. Then you can go into meditation and say, I want divine guidance from my spirit guides. I want divine guidance from an angel. I want divine guidance from Jesus, from Buddha, from whoever it is that you're connecting to. And that's going to work for you. So that is just a little tip for you, because the same thing happened in my life. The same issue was in my life, that I was always afraid. So who do I connect to? Who is spirit? What is spirit? Who? Of course, a lot of you, connect directly to God, creator source, or to the Holy Spirit. That's pretty safe, I would say. That's pretty safe. But I would always put in that little intention that I told you about, the highest good for me in the vibration of light, right? Light, that it's a being or a ritual of light or a prayer of light in the highest vibration and for my own highest good. So I hope that has helped you a little bit. And I hope that will encourage you to start experimenting and practicing a little bit with meditation and connection and asking for help and asking for guidance. And if you don't know where to start, just start with the archangels. Start with Archangel Michael. That's what I did. That's just a little tip. I started with Archangel Michael because I felt I can't go wrong. Archangel Michael is a very strong, protective, powerful, very high vibrational force, being, person that you really can't go wrong with. Non-denominational. Okay, all these beings and these angels and guides I'm talking about, they are non-denominational. You don't have to have a religion. You can have any religion or belief system, because I know that these higher beings are there for every soul to tap into and to ask help from. Okay, so start with Archangel Michael if you like, if you don't know what to do. And I am working on meditations to connect with angels, guides, because that's what I love doing. Also to connect to your own past lives. So please remember to subscribe if you haven't done so. Take a look at my website, link down below if you're interested in personal work. And I will see you soon. Bye. Love you guys.